Good morning and welcome to the show about food, fun places, and the mayhem of life. Our thoughts with folks in Florida. They are enduring some serious mayhem this morning, but there is some good news to report. Now, while the hurricane landed earlier than predicted, it did not hit quite as hard. It landed last night as a Category 3, wind speeds around 200 kilometers an hour, 120 miles an hour, still causing widespread destruction. We've got an update for you on Milton coming up on the show this morning. Also, closer to home, did we break a weather record yesterday? Damn! Oh, it was so beautiful! Oh my God, it was gorgeous yesterday. What did you do outside? I was barbecuing chicken. I was sipping on a vanilla cocktail. One of those dirty sodas. It was delicious, soaking up the sun. It was heaven, pure heaven. I thought, where am I? And there were some sun seekers experiencing some sun guilt yesterday. I did see that. It did cross my mind. I can't lie. It crossed my mind. You know, we're sitting there on the patio enjoying the sunshine, and in Florida, they're going through a really rough ride. Now, a couple of things on that, though, real quick. Okay, most of the people in Florida were asked to get the hell out of there. We're going to tell you a story of one lady who took to TikTok. She's rich, and she is unapologetic. And she is a woman you might love to hate this morning because she takes to TikTok and says, I am rich. I have a hurricane-proof home, and I don't have to leave. We're going to check in with her and see if her house is still standing this morning and see how she made out. That's coming up. But the second thing is that I don't think there's too many people in Florida worried about us in January, going, oh, those poor people up in Manitoba, Canada, probably enduring soul-crushing cold. We feel so bad. No one's feeling bad. They're enjoying the sun. It is warm. And again, thankfully, the storm did not hit quite as hard as it could have. And we'll have an update coming up in a second. Thanksgiving. We've got some interesting news on the travel front. Apparently, half of Canadians are gone. We will not see as many sun seekers apparently joining us on the show because of their venture to the airport. They are apparently half of all Canadians will be going somewhere this weekend. Rather interesting statistic there. So we'll and that's just the tip of the iceberg on what's going to be happening this weekend for Canadians. Will Thanksgiving be cheaper the same price as last year, or will it be less expensive than last year? We'll take a look at that as well. Also, Christmas shopping season is underway, and the first retail study has been released this morning that shows us how much people are going to be spending this Christmas, and we're going to share that information with you. And what you need to know is the younger the people you have in your cohort for buying Christmas presents, the better off you are. If you're surrounded by boomers around the Christmas tree, I've got bad news for you. I've got very bad news. You're not going to get very nice presents this year, according to this poll. But the young people, days of spending, baby. They're spending. So if you got youngins, expect to be treated. Tropicana came down on Wednesday. We're talking about the first Vegas casino that you ever walked into. Tropicana was mine. I got a free deck of cards, and now it's gone. And boy, you got to leave it to Las Vegas to put on a hell of a show. Bringing down a couple of buildings with fireworks, with a show, with holograms. We'll take a look at that, in case you missed it. Costco has announced major changes to its grocery prices. You're going to want to stick around for that, while McDonald's launches a Friends-inspired Happy Meal. You asked for it. It's for adults only, but there's a catch. And we will take part in TikTok's Hear Me Out cake trend. If you haven't been aware of that, we will play that this morning with the Sunseekers. So much to get to. So much fun, frivolity, and more. Yes, on the show about food, fun places, and the mayhem of life. As we take a look at your weather map this morning, your weather update is brought to you by voicemanusa.com. Your first-class ride from Brandon to Winnipeg is on voicemanusa.com. Call 204-730-2333. And we did not break a weather record yesterday, although we came close, 28.3 in 2003. I think Nick looked up something from the early 1900s that might have been a little bit warmer than that. There's some conflicting reports on what the official record high was for October the 9th, but I found 28.3 in 2003, and we hit 27 yesterday. Now, of course, it takes a couple of days for Environment Canada to kind of, check a bunch of stuff. Maybe we did, so we might come back. It came very, very close. Now, the forecast looks like this. We're going to have some cloud today, but it's still going to be warm, 21 degrees. Friday for the long weekend, sunny and 16. Saturday, sunny and 20. Sunday, sunny and 14. Monday, sunny and 15. Which is still well above the normal for this time of year. Normally, we should be at 12, so we'll take it. And wouldn't you know, next Wednesday, sunny and 23. Yeah, baby, summer's not gone. And the Sunseekers are responsible, by the way, for this endless summer. I've put the order in, guys. I said, please, please, please let us have our summer until maybe December the 15th. Wouldn't December the 15th be a good time to start winter? I think so. So there's a look at the North American map this morning, and then we are going to flip over and show you a live shot of South Florida. Air Canada has postponed all flights into South Florida, including Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and Orlando until the end of the week. That is Air Canada flights. If you are planning on traveling to Florida, keep in mind that they are doing a major cleanup. That is a live shot this morning from Tampa. There's some highway cams there. You can't see the one on the top left. Sarasota is the one to the immediate left. There's some traffic starting up there. Punta Gorda, Lakeland, top right corner is completely quiet this morning. Orlando's still getting quite a bit of rain. And then it's Daytona Beach on the right and Titusville, bottom right. In the middle of your screen, the color-coded Florida map, that's power outages that they've got this morning in Florida. So you can see the dark red is 100% power outages. I was following some comments on X this morning, and a lot of people without cell service, which makes life extremely difficult. Take away my power, take away my water, but I have to get to TikTok. Please turn the TikTok back on. And again, if you're just joining the show, the good news is it landed as a Category 3. I know that seems crazy to say it's good news, but holy cow, that storm, when it was out in the Gulf, it got nasty. Winds were brutal, like death and destruction had that hit Florida with that amount of steam. So that is good. Okay, they've got 3 million people without power. They've got people without water this morning. They're dealing with a lot. There'll be a big cleanup, but it's Florida. They get hurricanes. This is par for the course. This is the opposite of what we get in the wintertime when they look up to us and see 50 feet of snow and go, oh my God, what's that like? All that white stuff. Oh, that's in my drink right now. My margarita. It's all over the ground. And so you can't keep them down long. They'll be back up and running in no time. However, the fatalities that we are hearing about this morning are due to the tornadoes. There was like 3 dozen tornado warnings for South Florida yesterday. This storm spawned a tremendous amount of tornado activity in South Florida. So there you go. You're up to date. Okay, let's get into chat and see who we've got to welcome aboard on this Thirsty Thursday. Quick housekeeping reminder, I have a funeral to attend tomorrow, unfortunately, and the show will end a little bit early tomorrow. We will duck out at 8:30 tomorrow morning, so I just wanted to mention that before we get into the show. So, again, abbreviated show tomorrow. We will end at 8:30. But on a positive note, when the show is done today, I'm going to post something on social media, and I'd like you to take part. I call it the picture potluck. What the hell is that? Well, it's Thanksgiving. So one picture, not 5, not 10, not 3, one picture, one food, and you're bringing it to the Sunseeker Thanksgiving party tomorrow. So wait for it. That's going to come up later today. We call it the picture potluck. And once you post the picture, tell us what it is that you're bringing. And try to resist the temptation of taking a picture of lime jello from the 70s that everyone makes fun of and say, that's what I'm going to bring. Because I know you're thinking that already. You're thinking, oh, it's a dog food casserole. Here we go. Who wants a dog food? No, don't do this. Something that you'd be proud of, something that you actually would bring if we got together for Thanksgiving, okay? That'll be tomorrow on the show, part of tomorrow's Thanksgiving show. Okay, let's take a look and chat and see who we've got to welcome aboard this morning. It looks like all channels are working a little bit better after a little bump in the road with Facebook yesterday. Thank you for your patience. Tosh, good morning. Happy Thursday. Mama J and Tosh in this morning, along with Road Reverend on Twitch, along with Cindy. I saw that Zoom Bernice is on her way to Europe. We expect an update from her coming up in the next little bit. Borrowed Bean is here on Twitch this morning, along with Polar Bear. Janine is here on Facebook. We've got, let's see, Peanut is on TikTok, along with Richard, Michael, Gary, Matt, Tim, Tom, David, Randy, Shannon. Oh my gosh, there's quite the crowd today. Hi, Amanda. Nice to see you. And Garth is here too. Good morning, along with Dawn and Margaret. KDD 4380 is here on Twitch, along with Quentin and Cheryl and Nick. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. K-Nick Stowe, good morning to you. Spent a nice day driving to Winnipeg for an appointment and then back home again. I couldn't believe it. I opened the door yesterday and I'm like, where am I? This is awesome. It was so beautiful. 27 degrees, and I mean some real heat there. But I tell you, it was around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm out on the patio, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun is starting to, because the days are getting shorter, and it was about 4:15, 4:30. You could feel that the temperature every 15 minutes was starting to drop. And by 5 o'clock, I bet you it had dropped 7, 8, 9 degrees. And then by 6 o'clock, it really had dropped off. And then as soon as that sun goes down, it's like someone takes the heat and goes, shuts it off. It's like, okay, no, you can tell Mother Nature saying, no, sun's got to go bye-bye. Sun go bye-bye, so does the heat. But, I mean, we're almost midway through October, man. Think about it. In 8 weeks, the days start getting longer again. Isn't this great? I think it's great. Nick says, I doubt most people in Florida even know we exist. You may be right. MJ yesterday sat outside, had iced coffee with a friend, and the kids played outside after school for almost 3 hours. We are kind of wrapping in our good thing from yesterday with this weather. I think everybody absolutely loved this weather we had yesterday. Incredible for this time of year. Nick is liking the cartoons on the road. Well, that was, I think, MJ's recommendation to put a pumpkin on there. I figured the turkey, it's Thanksgiving, coming up this weekend. So, those cameras aren't working. Might as well put something there. The sun seekers, we seek the sun. It's what we do, and we got it yesterday. You got that right, pal. Debbie is here. Good morning on Facebook. Good morning, Debbie. Chris is here on TikTok. Michael, Cindy, Suzanne. I think a lot of folks are on TikTok this morning scrolling through, looking for information on the hurricane. Again, not quite as bad as anticipated. Landed as a Category 3 last night. And 3 million people without power. Without water this morning. Cell service is down in many locations, but it could have been so much worse. Thank you, MJ. Cindy's calling out Quentin, says, no Jell-O salad for the picture potluck tomorrow. Hey, Michelle is on Facebook. See, that was really clever of you, though, Michelle, yesterday when we had that little bump in the road that you jumped over to TikTok. I could see you do it. Just there you went. Okay, over on TikTok. And it's funny, sometimes some of the sun seekers that are normally on Twitch, they'll jump over and just, hey, I just wanted to see what it looks like on the other. It looks the same. It looks the same everywhere. There's no special stream for TikTokers or YouTubers. It's kind of, it just goes out to all the different places like that. That sound, really. Molly's here. Good morning, Molly. Good to see you. Can you do the keyboard Friday before the beach break tomorrow morning? Okay, let's try and do that. And I leave it up to you to remind me, okay, because I need your help, Tosh. We did this last week. We went through this last week, and then, I get carried away, and I get off on some tangent, and my mouth gets away from me. Matt Johnson on Facebook. Shauna Primer is here. Matt is here from Moose Jaw. Boy, we got a Facebook crew setting to battle the TikTok crew. In this corner, we've got a whole bunch of newbies on Facebook versus a whole bunch of newbies on TikTok. Who will take it? Angela is here, too. Good morning, Angela. It would be cool if you could do, to welcome the show, maybe a Keyboard Friday. Maybe we could do that. Maybe we could, a special... Yeah, okay. Well, when we start the show tomorrow and after we do our good mornings and good things, let's just see if we can make it part of the first half of the show. Okay, in case there was some stuff that wasn't weather-related from yesterday for your good thing, this is the moment in time that we kind of let it rip for good stuff that happened to us yesterday. I appreciate when you type in GT and then just tell me something cool that happened to you yesterday. And again, it doesn't have to be I started a new job or I got engaged or, it could be as easy as I talked to a friend who lives in Florida and they're having a ball in Alabama and everything is cool. Now, they have to go home and see that's going to be a tough row for a lot of people going home after being evacuated because I read earlier this morning that, again, from the bucket of good news, they have never seen an evacuation this effective for the state of Florida. I think it was the build-up to it, the historic nature of the storm out in the Gulf and the winds again, those winds were insane. It was one of the largest storms ever seen in the Gulf. And so people just, they heeded the warning and got the hell out. Except this woman on TikTok. And you're going to want her to be your new best friend. Doug is here. Doug Jameson. Hey, Doug. Diana. Good morning, Diana and Sharon on TikTok. We're doing good things, so let us know about what happened yesterday. Oh, Cindy went for a quad ride. I saw that. Very good. Oh, you stopped by to see your dad. That's cool. Beautiful sunshiny day in October. God, that was beautiful. Hi, Jody. Good morning. Tosh's GT, after doing a test in the course, I hit up the DQ and tried the new fall blizzard flavor. Who would have thought that you'd be hankering for ice cream in the middle of October, hey? Oh, man, I just love it. I just love it. I was driving around yesterday with my air conditioning on in the car in October. If you're joining us from another part of the planet, the reason we're in what's called the beach bunker is because we normally, for 10, 12 months of the year, have bone-crushing, soul-crushing cold. This weather is unbelievable for us. And yesterday, it was in the 80s. And we're just loving life right now. Kind of the opposite of what's happening in Florida. Molly's GT went over to grandparents' house, and they were outside riding bikes and scooters. Oh, it sounds like fun. Borrowed Bean, today is my birthday. PMH strike didn't go through, so I got my vacation days, and I'm still in my PJs. Well, look at this. It's Borrowed Bean's birthday. You know what that means, boys and girls. I got to put this down and get out the celebration sombrero. Yes. Borrowed Bean. It's Borrowed Bean's birthday. Everybody wish Borrowed Bean happy birthday. Here we... Oh, shit. Hang on. Pause. Build up. I shit the bed. Sorry about that. Here we go. Borrowed Bean. Happy birthday. Celebration sombrero. Yeah, happy 18th birthday. You're finally legal. Enjoy. Happy birthday. Alicia's here. Love the sombrero. It's the celebration sombrero. It only comes out for birthdays and anniversaries. And we do, and this magical instrument gets played. Borrowed Bean, I love you all. I love you all. Blowing kisses. Nice. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Okay. What are we going to do next? Did we get all our GTs? Is there any more? We're just going to do last call for yesterday's good thing because we have so much to get to. Oh, Cindy wants to share some pics of her quad ride yesterday. So this is nice because for folks that aren't in our part of the world, you get to take a look-see at the... Oh, you got some gorgeous colors up there, Cindy. It is still summer down here. It is crazy. Oh, there she is eating some cakes, eating some sausage rolls, but that's from last week, a couple weeks ago. Oh, you're starting to lose some of your leaves even up there, Cindy. No, I still, Mink Creek. Nature ride on October. Oh, visiting Pops. And there's the trail. Did you not see that there was a bear off to the side there? There's a bear right there. Cindy, start the engine. There's a bear. Do you see it off on the left side under that tree? There's a bear waiting to jump out at you. You probably saw that and drove away. Thank you for sharing. Yesterday's good thing. Any more? I did see one last time I went out. I bet you did. You have a great day, Borrowed Bean, and have a wonderful birthday. Sean Cameron celebrated a birthday recently, and I'm super jealous. Sean Cameron is a former media personality at CKX. He's currently on city council, and he's a Kansas City Chiefs fan. So what did he get for his birthday? He loaded up his family and went down to Kansas City to see the Chiefs game and hang out with Taylor Swift. Way to go, Sean. Hanging out with Taylor Swift. This is cool. I have another buddy who's a Kansas City Chiefs fan. He's got season tickets. I'm like, you live in Manitoba? You know how far Kansas City is from Brandon? For those that don't know, it's straight south of us. It's a straight shot south. But like, what, a day and a half? You'd have to drive a day and a half. It's a long way. Season tickets seems kind of crazy for me, but I got some pictures of Sean, though. Happy birthday to you, Sean. He said, what an incredible experience celebrating with 7,000 of your closest friends. I guess so. This is his wife Carol shared these. Carol Cameron. And maybe she's got a picture of Taylor Swift there. Taylor's off in the corner with Travis. There's no one in the stadium to do it. Look at that. Taylor Swift. Oh my gosh. I think they probably got the stadium tour, which makes sense. I mean, if you're a fan and you're down there and it's a birthday, this is so cool. I'm a Vikings fan myself, but I love football. These stadiums are beautiful. Oh, Bernice says, guess what I'm doing right now? We'll get an update from our friend Bernice in a second here after we show you a few more pictures they got up into can you imagine sitting up in a private box like that? This is how Taylor Swift watches the games. The Camerons from Brandon got up into the box where Taylor sits, and that's her view of the game. Just posh. Just posh. Not out in the cold, getting your bevies, getting service. Oh, my God. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Not a Chiefs fan, but respect. They got a great team. There they are. Thanks for sharing your pictures, you guys. Looks like you had a great birthday, Sean. Go Vikings. The Vikings rule. Kansas City drools. Bernice is here. Guess what I'm doing right now? She is having beer. She is in Ireland. She just landed. I think she just got to Ireland. She's been traveling. There she is with Mr. Bernice, and they're drinking beers. Ugh. Oh, sucking diesel. You got it. Good morning, Bernice. And she's on Facebook this morning to chime in from Europe. That's a good size of beer. You guys are having fun. She's doing the Zumba Bernice European Tour 2024. It has landed. I'm glad you traveled safe. Continue to do so, please, Bernice. And we look forward to getting more of your pictures, video, and updates as your journeys continue. Thank you so much, and be safe, okay? All right. We've got lots to get to. We sure do. But again, because of the conditions in Florida, our beach break this morning is in Spain. Let's go to Spain once again for some beach time. Which one is this one here this morning? This is Playa San Telmo, Porta de la Cruz. Oh, this is beautiful. Spain again this morning. Look at these waves.
Coffee sips, talking flips. Fun begins, just feels right. Thank you, sun seekers. Daybreak believers. Go for and fun. Let's run every morning on the show. Something sweet, laughs and tales can't be beat. Beach vibes, endless tides, ride the waves, feel the heat. Thank you, sun seekers, daybreak believers. Whoa, food and fun, let's run every morning on the show. Pantry treats. Something sweet, laughs and tales can't be beat. Beach vibes, endless tides, ride the waves, feel the heat. Thank you, sun seekers, daybreak believers. Whoa, food and fun, let's run every morning on the show. Pantry treats. Something sweet, laughs and tales can't be beat. Beach vibes, endless tide, ride the waves, feel the heat.
Oh, those waves are beautiful.
Wake up, dance around, time to show, best in town, sunrise, clear skies, come on now, get down.
That'd be kind of hard to walk on that beach, though. There's some rocks there. Oh, my feet. Good morning, Sunseeker. Hope your Thursday's off to a great start.
Let's run every morning on the show.
Beautiful. beautiful look at Spain this morning on a Thursday afternoon. It is just after lunch there. Much different story in Florida. We'll get to that in just a second. First, let's get a little closer to home and see what we've got this morning for you on our highway cams as they update for you. That 10 south of Brandon one is having a hard time getting going this morning. Happy Thanksgiving's coming up in Canada this weekend. And Wesley Campbell, good morning to you, sir, in Nevada. He is having a quick good morning hello and view from Nevada. It is good to see you, pal. Drive safely. Headed to California, likely again. Headed down to California or coming from California. Either way, be safe and have a good trip, pal. Keeping the pink, good morning and happy Thanksgiving. Your weather and road update is brought to you by voicemanusa.com. Your first-class ride from Brandon to Winnipeg is on voicemanusa.com. Call 204-730-2333. And after yesterday's 27 degrees, came very close to breaking the high of 28.3. We are going to cool down ever so slightly. It's going to feel cooler because we're going to lose the sun. Environment Canada says cloudy and 21 for the high today. Friday, sunshine and 16 to start the long weekend. Saturday, sunny and 20. Sunday, sunny and 14. And Monday for the holiday, sunshine and 15. Again, we will be ending the show early tomorrow at 8:30. And we will be off on Monday for the Canadian Thanksgiving, but we will be back on Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. We start out at 6 degrees at the beach bunker. It's 5 degrees at the airport. And this is a look at the temperature map across the continent. Again, Milton landed Wednesday evening in Florida as a Category 3 hurricane. Winds gusting to 200 kilometers an hour, about 125 miles per hour. 3 million Floridians without power. And there are millions without water as well this morning. So water and power, an issue. And there is a fair amount of folks who don't have cell service as well, which is super important these days for obvious reasons, not just updating the TikTok. We got a live shot actually from Florida in various locations, including how the storm is.
And we are doing really well. What we're going to do is we are going to do one more stream.
This is how things are looking this morning. In Florida, the sun is coming up and there's debris all over the place, as you can imagine. And there'll be quite the cleanup that's going to be happening for a number of weeks. Air Canada will not be flying into South Florida until the end of the week, so something to keep in mind. Disney World is still closed. They expect to be open for the weekend, though. And again, this could have been so much worse. I bring your attention to the graphic in the bottom right, the map of Florida that's multicolored there. That's the power outages this morning. 3.2 million customers without power at this hour. The worst of which are in the Tampa area. The darker the red, the more people are without power this morning. Some of the pictures and video from Florida as the hurricane was making its approach. This is continuing coverage out of Florida. I'm sure they're going to be
hazardous conditions as a result of Milton, down trees,
putting
down
all
power lines. So many
kinds
people
of
encouraged to stay off the road still until things are cleaned up. But this
footage. Give me 2 seconds here, and we'll show you what's going on here in Florida. This is a live broadcast now.
Truly remarkable, especially when you consider we had a historic tornado outbreak across the peninsula. 3 fatalities
because of the tornadoes. There was like 3 dozen tornado warnings yesterday.
Cocoa Beach, we had a tornado that ripped through a community, and this was the destruction left behind. Take a listen. So it's just some of that footage.
I've been to Cocoa Beach.
Very intense wind, very heavy rain. And when you talk about some of the damage that was left behind, crews were immediately spotted trying to clean up what they could and get people to safety. Fox Weather's Bob Van Dillen is joining us now from Cocoa Beach. Really all hazards, Bob, as I bring you in. Tornadoes, you have the heavy rain, you had the wind that lingers even now, still gusty as Milton tries to pull away.
Yeah, Milton is now, 75 miles away from Cape Canaveral, which means we're still getting the tropical storm force winds because tropical storm force winds extend 205 miles out from the center. So we're going to be within the tropical storm gusting area probably for the next 2 hours or so, 2 to 3 hours. Last hour and a half ago, we had winds howling. Melbourne, right there, they had a 78 mile per hour wind gust. Where I'm standing, a 63 mile per hour wind gust. And this is on the coastline, the Space Coast, right there in Brevard County. Brevard County, it's interesting. They don't close the bridges and causeways until after the storm is over. Then they do an assessment on the damage. If there's any kind of damage, they're going to obviously keep that bridge or causeway closed down, but it's going to be closed after the tropical storm force winds go away. So Brevard County, you have to wait for them to do their assessment. Then you can get off of the barrier island right here. Satellite Beach down here to my right. We've got the Cocoa Beach where I am right now. Cape Canaveral up here. But like I said, the winds are really coming down considering where they were. But now we're starting to get the light up, and we can see a lot of the damage is starting to be shown. We've got some damage out there to some of these lights. The heads of the lights have been taken off in the parking lot right here. Our hotel had some flickering lights. We lost power for just a couple seconds there. We're right back on. The other big thing, I'm going to step out for a second and show you this. This is what I've been dodging all morning long. Big old coconut. So,
a coconut to the melon. That wouldn't feel good. Put a football helmet on. Get a Kansas City helmet from Sean.
Here, so it's still pretty dangerous. And we've got some stuff, sheet metal that fell off of our roof right here, and it crashed down off to my left early before. But I'm in a relatively safe spot at this point. The only thing we're concerned with now is the gusty winds and the 3.3 million customers in Florida, Marissa, without power. It's about 28% of the state at this point. Now, they're going to work very hard to get that back on. Wind is a huge concern for the first part of the morning, and then as the storm pulls away, it's going to be all about the storm surge that comes in on the backside. So we'll see about a 3 to 5 foot storm surge. Not much of a flooding scenario for us on the Space Coast. It's more of a beach tour, beach erosion type of deal. But we've already seen as much as 6 to 12 inches of rain with forecasted as much as 15 inches. I don't know if we got that or not on that I-4 corridor. You're talking about near Orlando and areas just immediately up to the north. They really got belted with very heavy rain. So we're going to see major flooding around the St. Johns River for the next several days.
So the takeaway here is that it looks as if the storm itself did not hit Florida with its full intensity that was predicted when it was churning off the Florida coast out in the Gulf. I mean, some of those wind gusts were absolutely off the charts, and it looked like it weakened as it approached the coast. It was earlier than predicted and weaker than predicted. But again, 3 million people without power, that's a bit of an inconvenience. And I know we've got some sun seekers who have friends and family in Florida, all of which evacuated that we know of, and those that are connected to any kind of business or employment, they're closed and probably will be closed until next week. And as we mentioned earlier, Air Canada flights to Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, and Miami postponed until next week. They won't be flying until as maybe the weekend, they're saying. But again, airports have got to clean up some of the debris and get things all cleaned up after this storm. So the takeaway here is that thank God that it wasn't this Category 5. It was a 3, and they'll clean things up. As far as traveling anywhere else in the U.S., looks like this weekend is going to be, we're starting to get our long weekend, our Thanksgiving long weekend is starting to remind me of the American Thanksgiving because, you know, they did Black Friday. We got Black Friday. They jump on airplanes for Thanksgiving. We are jumping on airplanes now. 40% of Canadians will travel this weekend. We saw Zuma Bernice not too long ago. She's making her way through Europe. Is anyone traveling? Anyone hitting the road this weekend? How far are you going? Sunseekers, where are you going? Half of us are going to be traveling somewhere. This could be a record travel Thanksgiving weekend for Canadians. This, according to Skyscanner, the survey of 2,000 Canadian travelers, said that this Thanksgiving weekend is going to be busy. As a matter of fact, the American Customs The Customs and Border Protection have said that, excuse me, they have warned Canadians to expect potential delays. They're expecting an increase in traffic across land crossings this weekend because of the busy anticipated travel of Canadians going south for the weekend, maybe doing some early Christmas shopping in the U.S. So that's worth noting too. So if you are going to the States, you may experience some delays on the U.S. side of the border. They're just saying, please be patient. We're expecting an onslaught of Canadians this weekend. MJ is traveling off to Regina. Borrowed Bean is traveling, got the bags packed already in the wagon and the car across the street, across the yard to my in-laws. You know you're taking too much food if you have to drive. Load the half-ton. Start the car. We're just going across the street, actually. Cindy said the kids aren't coming home, but they were here a couple of weeks ago. Oh, yeah, for the super wedding. That's right, the super wedding. So where is everybody going? Where is everybody going? 70% of those travelers plan to travel close to home, with BC, Quebec, and Ontario the top destinations. If you're traveling internationally, the United States is far and above number one, followed by the Caribbean. Family reunions are a top priority this weekend. 65% of respondents plan to travel with family. Solo trips and couple getaways are the next most popular. Most Canadian travelers, almost 80%, plan to spend $1,000 per person traveling this weekend. In addition to Canadian Thanksgiving, 1 in 10 Canadians will also take part in U.S. Thanksgiving, which means that we will be celebrating the American Thanksgiving by traveling. Likely because so many of us now in this country have friends and family in the States. And that holiday is slowly melting into our psyche. We're, like I say, we're familiar with Black Friday now, and you know what? There's no reason why, there's no law saying you can't have a turkey on the Thursday of American Thanksgiving if you want to. And 1 in 10 will travel for Thanksgiving reasons in November. Elsewhere for the Thanksgiving, will Thanksgiving dinner cost more, cost less, cost the same? Are you done your Thanksgiving food shopping? Is everything good, ready to go? Reminder tomorrow. Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah. A reminder. Tomorrow we're doing photo potluck on the show. I will post on Facebook later this afternoon. That'll come this afternoon, okay? I will post the instructions for our Thanksgiving picture potluck. You post your dish, and you know what's going to happen? You're going to post your dish. People are going to go, hey, what is it? Oh, that is those scallop potatoes. Do you have the recipe for that? Then underneath, if you want to post a recipe, you could too. I'm sure there'll be a few requests for some folks that really like what you got going on there. There's some mashed potatoes. There's some stuffing. There's some green beans there. Oh, yeah. Well, Cindy says, how am I going to only pick one dish? You just got to pick one. That's a potluck. You're not catering, Cindy. Nope, you got to just pick one. Just one dish for us. Your best one if you had one dish to cook. But how did you find shopping for the Thanksgiving long weekend? Did you feel like the food prices were still up from last year, that your Thanksgiving ultimately will cost more this year than it did last year? Less or the same? And then I've got the cross-Canada numbers for you. I'm thinking that, no one wants to talk about it because they got everything on sale. But you're not alone on that. Frozen turkeys currently available for as low as $1.67 per pound, with the higher part of the spectrum reaching $2.70. Again, these are in Canadian dollars. For those preferring fresh turkeys, they're $3.25 $3.50 a pound. Last year, many opted for ham as a cost-cutting alternative to turkey because it was cheaper. However, this year, ham prices have risen by 5 to 10%, so it's back to turkey. In the produce aisle, there's good news for those prioritizing local foods. According to Statistics Canada, domestic produce as of September and early October, it looks as if we are seeing similar prices to last year. See, what did I say? Price stability. This Thanksgiving, Canadian-grown options like apples, beets, broccoli, cabbage, carrots, celery, cucumbers, and lettuce are actually helping Canadians create a nice Thanksgiving on a budget. The Canadian dollar's relatively strong performance against the U.S. dollar has helped to stabilize some of these prices. The cheapest vegetables that you'll be able to put on your table this weekend, according to StatsCan, potatoes, they are the most reasonably priced, $6 for a 10-pound bag. Canned cranberries hold steady at $1.59, mirroring last year's prices. The takeaway here is that Thanksgiving, according to StatsCan, is about the same as last year. Again, this is great news. Now, there are a couple of exceptions. They've always got to break something out. Couple of items that you are going to be paying more for, but this is going to come as no surprise. Dairy and eggs. This is supply managed food, okay? Now, in Canada, it's wonky with dairy and eggs and poultry to a large degree. The Canadian government heavily regulates these products, and prices are regulated by the federal government for eggs, dairy, and poultry. These prices have gone up since last year, impacting affordability for consumers. Dairy products especially have seen above average price hikes, which may affect dessert. But if you aren't having cheese and you aren't having cream, you're good in the clear. Turkeys, however, for some reason they were able to kind of maintain some price stability, but the eggs, sometimes eggs are crazy. I don't know what's going on with eggs. What are they, laying golden eggs? What the hell? The price of eggs can sometimes just curl your hair, for God's sake. It's pretty crazy. Hey, our friends at Ep Law Office, you know what? Buying or selling a home can sometimes be scary. And they take the fear out of it because you know what? They have got your back. They cross the T's, dot the I's. They know real estate law. They also work on corporate law and estate law. And if you're buying a house or maybe you're selling a house, you're going to need the help of a lawyer. It's just the way it works. A lawyer is going to need to be involved, and you're going to want to rely on the experts, the friendly experts at Ep Law Office, where they believe in forming lasting relationships while taking care of all of your legal needs. You'll find them at 642 18th Street, Unit A, across from the RBC on 18th Street. I do want to remind you, tonight is that concert we were talking about the last little while, the Hip to Be Square show. If you're a fan of Huey Lewis and the News, tonight at the WMCA, Huey Lewis and the News, next best thing, I call it. The next best thing. Hip to Be Square. Here's the crew. Don't hip. Hip to Be Square. Hip to Be Square. Huey Lewis and the News experience is tonight at the Western Manitoba Centennial Auditorium. There are a lot of people in town talking about this show. This could be a fun night out for you and some friends. Quite affordable, less than $50, and that includes all your taxes and service charges. WMCA website. You can also find Hip to Be Square on your favorite social media channel. And you can get tickets for tonight's show. Again, that's Hip to Be Square tonight at the WMCA. Doors open at 7 o'clock. Ticket prices are $46.50. That does include your taxes and service charge. And our friends at Auto Fashion, if you have a scratch, if you've got a dent, if you have too much on the go to get your car all cleaned up, how about treating yourself this Thanksgiving to a nice, clean car? Get it detailed with our friends at Auto Fashion. And keep them in mind should you ever suffer hail damage. They're SGI and MPI accredited. Our friends at Auto Fashion do amazing work. You'll find them in the same neighborhood as the North 40, Lady of the Lake. They're at 255 17th Street North behind Lee's Buffet next to the car wash there. It's Cass and Herman who run that operation. Husband, wife, family, super duo, awesome people. And the reviews online are tremendous. So check them out. Auto Fashion, okay? And finally, Sunrise Credit Union. They'd like to help your not-for-profit organization or your not-for-profit initiative. Maybe you've got a daycare center or a special fundraising group. They have the fall intake of the Building Communities Grant going on right now at Sunrise Credit Union. And this only goes until the end of October. So they essentially would like to help you out, because a lot of these not-for-profit groups and projects are struggling. They're doing all kinds of fundraising to make things happen, to make the dream a reality. So Sunrise Credit Union, with their Building Communities Grant, wants to focus on the needs of the community, the members, the staff, and the area. They've got 19 area locations to serve you, Sunrise Credit Union does, and they are so community involved. This proves it. They're just cutting checks, basically, for these initiatives. And you should see if you qualify. Go to the website, sunrisecu.mb.ca. See if you qualify. But the bad thing here is that it's only for another couple of weeks. You got to get on this, okay? Don't put it off. October 31st is the deadline for the Building Communities Grant with our friends at Sunrise Credit Union. Tracy says her menu consists of turkey, ham, pierogies, cabbage rolls. Oh, my God. I'm getting full just reading this. You've taken up the whole chat window. Broccoli, cauliflower, roasted garlic, honey glazed carrots. I'm getting indigestion just reading that. That is fantastic. Well done. Well done. That's a menu. Holy cow. Good news for Costco shoppers. This has gone viral this morning. Costco has announced that they're selling the most popular candy of the year. As Halloween quickly approaches, they're selling this. Has anybody tried this candy? Nutty Fruity Peeled. There's no bigger candy on the planet than this right now. Thank you, TikTok. Peelable gummies. Now, they're not, okay, listen, Canadians, just simmer down. It's not those kinds of gummies. But apparently these things are off the charts. So I'm just putting this on your radar. If you, in your travels, if you come across this candy, can you let me know? And B, buy some and try them and let me know why they're just so incredible. Everyone's going nuts for Nutty Fruity Peeled. I love gummies. All kinds. But the sour ones are the best. But Costco is also making news this morning because they have finished up their quarterly investors call. And why would you care about that? Well, you're going to care about that because the CEO goes on the call. That's the guy who runs the whole company. And so when they're on this call, the CEO of Costco says it's time to slash prices on Kirkland brand products. And so you are going to see a 10 to 20% reduction in all the products that Costco's internal house brand sells. Their Spanish olive oil, for example, $38.99 drops to $34.99. Macadamia nuts, $18.99, now $13.99. Laundry stuff, $18.99, now $19.99. Well, that's going up. No, it went down $1. But you can see that we are turning the corner. We were talking about the cost of Thanksgiving and how it's largely about the same as what we saw last year, not including dairy and eggs. So I'm thinking that we really have turned the corner. We've turned the corner on inflation. It's on the run, and now Costco has announced that they are going to be reducing prices on the Kirkland brand, which is fantastic news. Hey, if we have some Sunseekers out Verdon Way, I wanted to mention something to you that is happening tomorrow. We had a Sunseeker ask if I could mention this, and I promised I would. The Canadian Royal Purple Verdun Division will collect toiletries and donations for survivors of intimate partner violence at Valley View Co-op C store tomorrow. They will also assemble care bags for those fleeing violence and their children in honor of Purple Thursday, with a portion of the proceeds from Royal Twists sold that day going to support their efforts. Again, this for people in the Verdun area of southwestern Manitoba. This is happening tomorrow. I'll mention it again tomorrow, because this is happening at the Valley View Co-op C-store tomorrow. They're collecting toiletries and donations for survivors of intimate partner violence in honor of Purple Thursday. Absolutely, we can mention that. Tracy says farm fresh eggs, $3 a dozen, best eggs ever. Still too much. I want $1 a dozen. I want $1 a dozen. I want $1. I want 25 cents a dozen. Where do I get those? Only in my dreams. All right. Still to come on the show this morning. Oh, we've got so much to share with you. Christmas shopping season. You have the relative. Maybe you're one of these people that you've started your Christmas shopping already. Are you kidding me? Christmas shopping season is here. And the first Christmas shopping survey of the season is out. And they're talking about what the average spend is going to be this Christmas. They're also talking about the generations and what they're going to spend. And I'm sorry, boomers, it's not good. It's not good for boomers right now. It's not good. Here it is in a nutshell. The older you are, the less you're going to spend this Christmas, according to the survey. So, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me because it's the young people struggling to save to get into a house. But this is what the survey says. It can't lie. They just can't lie. So, if you've got some young people in your family, you're about to hit the jackpot. If you're surrounded by boomers, you're about to get stiffed. You're going to get socks and a Christmas orange from boomers. The Tropicana Hotel has come down. And we will watch that together. We'll watch a bit of the show, including some of the fireworks in hour 2 of this particular live stream show. Also, McDonald's is launching a Friends-inspired Happy Meal for adults, but there's a catch, and we'll tell you what that is next hour. And we'll also play TikTok's Hear Me Out Cake, the game that everyone's playing. Hear me out. Hear me out. I've got a cake ready to go. Special Sunseeker cake. You're going to want to take part in the TikTok Hear Me Out Cake trend. We'll do it on this show in hour 2. But coincidentally, we got to say goodbye to our friends on TikTok because we're moving the party over to Twitch, okay? Dan, thank you so much. Brenda, Rob, have a great day, Rob. Good to see you, pal. Join us on Twitch, man. Ross, thank you. Thank you, Tamara and Sarah and Joan, and the list goes on. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. We're moving the party over to Twitch, twitch.tv/Tyler Glen Show. Again, the podcast version of this show is available at noon at tylerglenshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts. I wish you a wonderful Thursday. It's Friday's Eve. Man, we're going to have a great show tomorrow, celebrating Turkey Day with our picture potluck party. I'll be looking for you. Thank you, TikTokers. We're moving over to Twitch. See you later. And thankfully, all our other streams were working today. Oh, technology is wonderful. Technology is fantastic. Thank you, YouTube. Catch you later. Have a great Thursday. See you tomorrow.